it's racing, Scott. It's a passion. It's a love for these drivers, isn't it? And so we thank them for it because they're about to put on one hell of a show for us.
They certainly are. Cars already making their way onto the grid for the penultimate time. You can see it right at the back. He didn't get too much time in qualifying. I did see there was an amended result from qualifying, but Kevin Talbot's DC5 Integra, you can see in the middle of the shot there, starting, I think, from the back of the grid, because there was an amended grid that came through after the Racing Hondas qualifying session earlier on. I'll have a look at the amended grid, which I think, does it say Kevin at the back? It doesn't. He should be starting from... He didn't set a time, so that's why he's starting at the back. So both of those Honda Motorsport Honda Integras are going to have to come through from the back. And Kevin Talbot, I'm certain, will not stay where he is at the back of the grid in what will be 22nd position. Given his pace and given the fact he has been one of 5 race winners this season, I think he'll have the pace to get around here pretty rapid. I
feel a bit for him, actually, because their awning is just behind us and they were frantically working on the car. But for us, it's great because we're going to get to see a bit of a show. If you're in Snetterton right now and not by the track, I implore you to get a view of the circuit because we are about to go racing in anger here at Snetterton. 200 for round 15 of the Racing Hondas Championship. My experience of this championship is it is going to be a cracker. Get yourselves trackside, everybody. Eyes on track. This is going to be fantastic.
Certainly, well, cars are lined up, ready to go, and we've got a collective of EG Civics. That's the car to have, it seems, particularly this weekend. As the sun still beats down here at Snetterton on the Norfolk circuit, it's going to be quite an occasion. Even with the fact you've got the likes of Kevin Talbot right towards the back, might give us a preview of race 2. So the penultimate grid of the season looks like this. Will Self, newly crowned provisional Class A champion, starts on pole position alongside his good friend Josh Harvey in the ex-Rick O'Connell EG. And to make it 3 EGs in the top 3, double Knock Hill winner Bob Barron will start in 3rd. Phil Wright, 2023 champion and now 2nd in Class A, will start from the 2nd row of the grid in 4th, and Dave Buki, one of his personal best qualifying results, in 5th. Liam Collins had a smoky DC2 Integra. He'll start in P6 in Car 6, and then Car 7 in position 7. Sees Fraser McNeil round off for top 7. Dan Thackeray, newly crowned provisional overall and Class B champion, will start from the 4th row of the grid in 8th on Class B pole. Then it's James Alford in his EK Civic, only one of 2 EK Civics because Tommy Knight's car is out. We'll explain that in a second. Ryan Cunningham, now outgoing overall champion, will start in P10 in car number 1. Then Sam Linster and Spencer Fortag come next in Class B on row 6. Lewis Barker, who got his first podium at Knock Hill last time, starts in 13th alongside Sammy Milam. Luke Crassus, Medium and Harry Greenhill, who also got a podium last time at Knock Hill, could see him back in 16th. Danny Weston, another of our debutants, racing for Kinetic Motorsport. Dave Buki's team will start on row 9 in 17th alongside Owen Diver. And then the 2 Class C cars, Matt Rowling and Callum Houchin from row 10. And then it's Matt on pole position with Jordan Morgans, one of our new single round entry drivers in the yellow DC5 Integra, and his teammate Kevin Talbot set to start from the back in 22nd and last position, but by no means least. And they all get away cleanly. The 2 Integras right towards the back. So the cars then head off onto their formation lap, one single formation lap around the 200 circuit. Now it's usually at this point that I tend to do a tiny bit of what people know as a history lesson based on on circuits. Ooh, and this will be no different. We have done Snetterton before, but of course this is the 200 circuit. So for those of you who have done that before, we'll do a bit of a reminder. If my laptop wants to play ball, it's not current at the moment, so we'll have to come back to that. If not, I'll be stuck
whilst you have a quick look, if you've got a program in your hand, do head to page 28. And that will give you more information about the Racing Hondas Championship. Entry list is on page 34. And there is a spotter's guide. It's fantastic, actually. A really good spotter's guide. Page 36 of the programme. So if you've got hold of one, check that out right now. The cars are just circling around. And Scott, you look like you're ready.
I am. So settle in. I'm going to give you a bit of an anorak history lesson here. So if you didn't know, Snetterton was born back in 1953. And it was created back in 1953. This version, 2 miles in length exactly, started life as RAF Snetterton Heath, a World War II US Air Force base that opened in 1943, closed in 48. Racing started here in 1951 on the airfield, and the original 2.7-mile layout featured the long Norwich Straight, which ended in a tight hairpin and was marked out with ore drums and Christmas trees, would you believe it? Nice. The first chicane, Russell Bend, came in 1965, the shorter circuit came into 1974, and then the long circuit was phased out by 1980. And then that kind of layout stuck from about 1991 until 2010, when, of course, MSV made the developments, made the 300 circuit layout, which means you have 100, 200, and 300 circuit layouts here at Snetterton in Norfolk. And since then, it's continued to host British touring cars, British GT, Superbikes, and so on and so forth, including Time Attack, until this day, of course. We've already run once on the 300 circuit earlier on this season at the end of July, where we saw some new lap records established because it was our first time racing on that layout. For the 200s, there has already been a couple of new lap records established too, because Will Self in qualifying set the new Class A lap record for pole position, 1 minute 18.816, and Class B qualifying lap record went to Dan Thackeray with a 122.119. Class C hasn't dropped. That's held by, of all people, James Kay, ex-BTCC racer. Did it in 2023 in the first season, 125.190. Callum Houchin couldn't quite match that in qualifying. In terms of race lap records, the actual fastest ever race lap set was back in 2023 by that year's champion Phil Wright in a Class B car, 122.314. Given the pace they've set in qualifying, I think, Ian, we might be beating that at some point in this race today.
I think, I said it a little bit earlier, about 60 minutes ago, I said the track conditions are probably going to be the best that they're going to be in about an hour. So I think I might have got this one absolutely spot on. If it does go, I'll take all the credit for that as well. The cars are lining up. Just a quick one as well. You mentioned Snetterton. There's a corner called Bomb Hole down here. It's actually nothing to do with being bombed. This is an old airfield, of course, but it wasn't bombed during the war. There was a motorcycle rider who had a bit of an off down there, known as called it the Bomb Hole. It was terrible, and they've rechanged the name. But look, we're about to get into it, so we'll more on that later.
We will do. So, last few cars getting up into position. Actually, in fact, I didn't know about Snetterton, so today I learned something. Definitely, that's good to see. Always good, handy information. So, last few cars get into position. And as we know, we have a bit of a saying in this championship, which is it's all calm and quiet until the VTEC kicks in. And it will do in just a few moments' time. We're getting set then for the 15th and penultimate race of the season of Racing Hondas 2025. It's been a magical season so far. There are 2 more 15-minute contests left to go, one of which is coming up in a few moments' time, waiting for the green flag at the back, which it goes. So, is Will Self about to take another race victory, what could potentially be his 7th of the season? Are we going to get a 6th different race winner, or is somebody else going to steal the limelight? The 5-second board goes up, the red lights are about to head on, and round 15 of Racing Hondas 2025 is all set to go. The red lights are coming on. Any second now, they will go out. And round 15 of Racing Hondas is underway. It's a clean start for the 3 EG Civics. They've sprinted away from the first 3 spots easily enough. It is Phil Wright into 4th position. Dave Buki slots in behind him into P5, but it's side by side for second. Barron going up the inside to try and pick up P2 from Josh Harvey. They're turned into Richie's corner. I'm not sure if there was contact, but Harvey is sideways on the exit of the corner. Then they're still side by side. It's 3 wide down towards Montreal corner, or Wilson corner, because Phil Wright was looking up the inside of both Barron and also that was Josh Harvey. Harvey still there on the outside to lose 3rd position as Phil Wright goes through, but Will Self from pole position has escaped and is up the road 2nd place. There's cars running wide, both Dave Buki and also Liam Collins kicking up the dust, but down Bentley Straight for the first time. Will Self, like a whippet, is away and gone on lap number 1.
What a start. What a great start. This is exactly what we wanted. And Bob Barron got a good start as well. They were too deep going into Riches, weren't they? And I think Barron got away with it. You mentioned there, actually, Josh Harvey getting a little bit sideways. We'll see where he is very shortly. But, yeah, brilliant start. Down in 4th. Thank you very much.
So, there is Josh Harvey. Then we said to watch out for him. Will said to watch out for him, of course, because he has been quite prominent in Castle Cume circuits. I think there was a tiny bit of contact. There's the telltale sign of the bodywork hanging off the rear bumper. If that doesn't flap around too much, he might get away with that. Otherwise, he could potentially get a black and orange flag if it gets too acrimonious, shall we say. Well,
in a 15-minute race, if you've got to pull into the bits, that is game, set, and match for you, unfortunately, isn't it? Here they come on to the centre straight to complete lap 1. And you're right, it's the champion, Will Self, who comes over in 1st place. He beat the lot of that. Barron in 2nd, Wright in 3rd, Harvey in 4th, Buki in 5th. There, your top 5. Lap 1 completed, 13.5 minutes on the clock to go. We've got somebody going very slow down there, Scott.
That's Liam Collins. It's Liam Collins in the DC2 intake. And that car was smoking in qualifying. So sadly, the man who I was hoping might be in contention for a victory today is not going to manage it. As we see here, this is James Alford scrapping away with Fraser McNeil down at the Wilson hairpin. Makes the inside line, and EK passes EG. And that will be him moving up into, that was 6th position for James. Down the back straight. Self and Barron by 6/10 of a second. Wright is in 3rd, Harvey's in 4th, and Buki's up to P5 for Class B quickly as Collins climbs out of the car. That, I'm not sure if that will prompt a safety car or not, but we'll wait and see. Dan Thackeray leads Class B, I should mention quickly, from Ryan Cunningham at the end of lap number 1 and Spencer Fortag in 3rd. And I think it's Callum Houchin who leads the way from Matt Rowling in P2.
Yeah, Scott, I'm on Kevin Talbot watch. You remember he started 22nd in last. He's up to 10th.
Superb.
After lap 1, he's up to 10th. Wow, brilliant stuff. Keep your eye on Kevin Talbot. He's the number 137 in the Honda Integra. It's green if you're out there on the circuit currently in well, he might have even made up a few more since then as well.
Now looking at Bob Barron, of course, last time he was here, the car didn't have a rear wing and it didn't have the new suspension. So the fact he's keeping up with Will Self and, of course, still on a high from his first victories at Knock Hill has certainly proven that that car's got plenty of pace and it's definitely going to be one to watch for next year. Wright and Harvey are keeping them in the mix. And actually, dare I say it, I think he's up to about 6th or 7th. He's side by side now with James Orford. This will be for P6. Orford capitulates, lets him through, and in 2 laps, Talbot has gone from the back of the grid, which was 22nd, up to 6th. That is phenomenal pace. If we look at his lap time that he set last time by, it was a 1:21.231. He's the 6th fastest car on the field, because everyone else is doing 1:19s or 1:20s.
Yeah, incredible stuff, isn't it? I wonder what he could have done if he'd been further up the field. But a long way to go in this race. Still just 11 and a half minutes to go. Plenty of racing action. It's round 15 of the Racing Hondas Championship here at Snetterton Modified Live 2025. Will Self is your leader from Bob Barron in 2nd place. Phil Wright in 3rd.
So now that Kevin Talbot's going to have a little more clear track in front of him, his next target is to try and catch Dave Buki. But in all fairness, he was kind of passing a few cars in that lap, so it wouldn't be surprising on that stage that he lost a little bit of pace in terms of lap time. But now he's got clear track. He's already clearly pulling away from Halford now, who's holding off the cars behind, which is Fraser McNeil and then our Class B leaders. Looking back at that Class B group, it's still Thackeray, Cunningham and Lewis Barker now up to 3rd place, because Milam's Fortag lost the position, and also up 2 spots has gone Sammy Milam into the Class top 5. But Talbot pushing on. What was his last time by? 1:21.231. It's still...
No, he's just gone over now. He's done a 1:20.618.
So he's matched Buki's time. He did a 1:20.6 also.
Brilliant. This is so exciting, isn't it? Down into Class C, it's Callum Hoochin who's leading that one. Class A, as we know, leader is Will Self. Class B, you've just mentioned it there, Dan Thackeray could be race win number 12 of the season for him. Class win anyway. Fantastic stuff. Who's gone off there?
Luke Crass's Meny's off the road and bouncing back on again. Side by side, I was watching the battle while she were going through that between Sammy Milam. And contact, that's between, looks like that is Harry Greenhill and Luke Crass's Medi. So a shaky couple of corners for Luke. Skips over the grass and past the tyre stack on the inside. I wonder if that corner was going to trip people up, considering that you're not turning all the way 180 degrees. You flick left back onto the back straight. There's a 3-way fight going on here between Spencer Fortag, Sammy Milam and Sam Linster. Fortag in the FN2 Civic and Milam having a look up the inside in the Kinetic Motorsport car. That's the team run by Dave Buki, who's also in that white EK Civic. They turn out of Brundle and Nelson. This is on lap 4 of the race.
There was some debris on the track at Nelson. I think, I'm not sure it's been cleared or been picked up by somebody, but it almost looked like the tail end of an exhaust, but it's no longer there. It's either been run over or Marshall's been very brave and taken it away. What are we now? It goes so quick, doesn't it? 9 minutes left to go. 4 laps completed. Will Self, your leader. He's a best time of 1:19.643. That's the fastest lap of anybody in this race. Kevin Talbot still in 6th place. He's 3 seconds now behind Dave Buki, doing similar sort of laps. Actually, Dave Buki did a 1:20.276 last time.
He was quicker by
sorry, he did 1:21.618. Sorry, yes, you're right.
Quick about 1.2 seconds. So he's charging. He's coming along.
He is, isn't he? Wow, he's going to be right on the tail of Dave Buki by the end of this lap.
Now, this 3-way fight that's going on for Class B is pretty fascinating, because you've got Spencer Fortag battling with Sammy Milam. Now, these two duelled for position right on the last lap of the race in race 2 at Brands Hatch, and they had a photo finish at the line, and Fortag just about won out. But they do say sometimes that, ironically, they do say sometimes that the FN2 is not the best Civic Type R compared to the EP3. But I think Spencer would argue that, because he's given both these EP3s a run for their money. Linz is keeping a watching brief just behind them. Just watching Ling Milam do the battling around, because he's in a catch-22 situation. He's got to keep one eye on Fortag in front of him and one eye behind in the mirror at Linster, because he could charge at a moment's notice. Out of Brundle and Nelson, back into the right-hander at the bomb hole. There's Harry Greenhill, who's coming after the contact that he had with Luke Crassus-Medu up at Wilson Hairpin. And to get that back out. And again, for the second lap in a row, I thought that Marlon was going to drive it up the inside through Coram, but that's a corner which is a never-ending right-hander, and you never really want to make a pass unless you're absolutely certain you've got the grip and the confidence to do it. But the 3 cars nose to tail out of Murray's onto the pit straight. This is for, in terms of class, where they are. This is for 4th, 5th and 6th in Class B, 12th to 14th overall, because the Class 3 top 3 is still going to be Thackeray, Cunningham and Barker. Now side by side is Marlon. Is he waving at Force? I got the winner saying, no, come on, go with me. If you can let me through, let me go through and let's just go try and defend it properly. Tries to go for the up and under into Richie's corner. Fortag will run a little wide, but he holds enough to the inside line because he's not comfortable staying on the conventional racing line to hold on. And Marlon sweeping around this way and that, but Fortag unable to well, for choosing not to let him through. Also getting involved now looks to be Danny Weston, who's taking his first ever race in the championship in the Kinetic Civic. He might be giving Miles a bit of backup here as these four cars continue to go back and forth, and now it's side by side again, and with a bit more straight line poke it seems. In fact, you can see Miles going, look, don't fight me, go with me, just try and work together, let's try and get into a tone here if we can.
I think I've just seen Talbot go a little bit wide round Nelson as well, kicked up a little bit of dust. He was a second faster than Buki on that last lap, but Buki might just be able to keep a little bit of space between himself. This is a great fight, isn't it? We're looking at the minute with Spencer Fortag there and Milan getting involved, going toe to toe right now. Keep it together, boys, keep it together.
And he's there, he's got himself up the inside of open the door. This will give Sammy Linster a chance to get through. Weston gets involved as well right behind them, but that was the perfect move. He set him up into the bomb hole, got the inside line and opened the door. Linster a little sideways under braking as Fortag tries to hop over the curb. Linster runs wide, Milan runs wide, they all run wide behind him. Fortag keeps it on the road, he tries to get a little more punch off the corner to try and sprint down the straight towards Ritchie's, and look in the back for Danny Weston. You might get two for the price of one here, down towards Ritchie. He's side by side with Linster. Fortag holds the inside line.
Yeah, he's on the outside, and I think unfortunately he's going to be blocked off by Spencer Fortag to go round into Ritchie's. But a great fight here. You often see it, don't you, in motorsport, certainly around Snetterton, is sometimes the drivers helping each other, getting as tight as possible to punch a hole in the air. Big lock up there, and no contact. Good driving.
That was a do or die move from Weston. Keeps it side by side with Linster, who's done the whole season. Weston's off the road but backs out of it. You might still be side by side with Linster. There's a track limits flag going out for car 63, which is Phil Wright, who's in third position. And we should mention Class A quickly. Still Will Self leading by 2 seconds at the line last time by. Bob Barron in second place. The leaders are going past the line now, so the gap between the top two has now gone to 1.9. It's come down slightly as we watch a couple more of our Class A runners. Fraser McNeil, who's just come fresh off the back of his best ever result in the championship at home at Knockhill, got a 4th place in the wet. His plans are he's going to put a K24 engine into that car, which is exactly the same engine that Bob Barron's put into that machine as well.
Here comes Kevin Talbot. He lost 1.5 seconds on the last lap after that little excursion off, and it looks like he is struggling a little bit as well because Buki's just under 120. Talbot must have had another off. He's just under 129. So he's struggling a little bit, Kevin Talbot. The man who started last and is now running in 6th place.
I think that's as far as he's going to get. What also always impresses me is how quick Dan Thackeray can be, given the fact he's in a Class B car. But if you look at this group of cars in the mix, you've got Alford and then Fraser McNeil, and just behind them is the Class B leader. So Dan Thackeray, we call him Unstoppable Dan in this championship. That's a phrase that me and Charlie have coined between us in terms of how quick he is, showing how unstoppable he is. Even at Knockhill, he was out sprinting James Kiff in a Class A Honda Integra up the hill to get 5th place overall in race 2. That's how quick and unstoppable he is. So no wonder he's Class B and overall champion when he puts in performances like that every weekend.
Good stuff indeed. What are you making of the racing action? Let us know on that live chat on the live stream. If you're at the circuit, hello everybody, hope you're enjoying it and your eyes are on the circuit right now. Scott?
I think you're right, Kevin Talbot, because I don't think all's well with that DC5 Integra. He had problems in qualifying. He's now starting to back up both James Alford and Fraser McNeil, so I think you're absolutely right here. I don't think all's well with that number 137 machine, and I think it might be a legacy of the issues he had in the last session. Well,
I'll tell you something, it might not be quite his day so far, but he's put on one hell of a show for us, hasn't he? He really has.
Absolutely.
Entertainer of the day so far for Kevin Talbot, and there is a chance, isn't there, a little bit later to vote for your driver of the day?
Yes, I'm sure the QR code will come up on the screen. There it is. It's like the production team are listening to us. There it is on the screen. But what I'm sure Kevin Talbot doesn't want to see, rather than that QR code, is seeing both Fraser McNeil and James Alford come through. It's off the road, has gone Sammy Milan with front bumper damage. Now, I asked the question in this situation, did he jump or was he pushed? The damage suggests he might have been pushed. And you see here, in fact, Dan Thackeray's even got the pace to get up the inside and get past Talbot too. And that was into Wilson 2 corners later. So, unfortunately, there's an ailing DC5 on the field. And Kevin Talbot, who has had a couple of victories, but maybe not exactly where he wanted to be. Now, 3 minutes to go. These two have been at it all season. This is Callum Houchin and Matt Rowling. Rowling, of course, the Class C champion already. And these two are now going nose to tail. They did this in race 1 at Knockhill. They're doing it again here at Snetterton in race 1. And funnily enough, of course, we saw in the interview earlier on that Callum's kind of lost his voice. So we were kind of laughing yesterday that if Callum wins a race, how's Charlie going to interview him? Because he's not going to be able to talk.
He's going to make a good interview, isn't he, there? Will Self certainly is not taking it lightly today. He's just put in the lap before last, his fastest, the fastest of the race, a 1:19.529. Bob Barron is just trying to keep him honest, though. He's 3.483 seconds behind in second, Phil Wright in third. The fastest time for him of a 1:19.817. So they're lapping pretty good times indeed around here. Good conditions here at Snetterton. A little bit breezy, but we're well underway. You know, with that QR code popping up on screen as soon as I mentioned it and people listening in, I wonder if I mention like a coffee, if one will just magically appear.
Who knows? These things can happen, I suppose. If someone wants to bring one up to us, I'm sure they'll be more than content. We get in our ear from producer, black or white 2 sugars.
I don't quite know how he's going to get it to us, but thank you for the offer. Anyway, look, we're looking.
We'll have to airlift it over the circuit because our production team at the other side of the circuit from us know where the timing screen is.
Thanks for trying anyway, guys.
Yeah. Will Surf, by the way, was doing more of his sideways antics through the bomb hole, coming up towards starting what will be, I think, the penultimate lap of the race. I'm going to get this right because I accidentally called what would have been Bob Barron's victory a lap early and made myself look like an idiot, which I do on a regular basis anyway.
Where are they on second? I'm just having a quick look at the minute. He's coming over the start-finish line now, so this will now be the penultimate lap of the race that he's just starting.
Yes, it will indeed. So once the penultimate lap goes, Will Self, newly crowned provisional Class A champion. As you said at the start of the season, he wants to win the title. I think he meant more the overall title, but Class A will do for him. And of course, he's got a chance, really, if he keeps on performing well enough, to go and get himself second in the title race as well, overall in the standings, if he can do that too. Yeah,
all he's got to do is keep it on track, hasn't he, really? He's got a 4-second lead over Bob Barron, and he went even quicker last time around as well. So it's looking good so far for Will Self. However, there is such thing as commentator's curse, so I'm just going to shut my mouth.
Yes, indeed. Now, that's interesting. Class C, that was the battle between the two of them. They were being lapped by the 3rd and 4th place cars. They're scrapping over P3 in the last podium spot in Class A. And now, because of that, Hadrian ran wide. It's now side by side for Class C and for 3rd place in Class A. So 2 battles in one. See if you can put your eyes in both positions at the same time. So up to 3rd place goes Josh Harvey then. Remember, he's a single round entry, so doesn't score points. And the ex-Rick O'Connell car going well in the hands of the ex-Castle Coombe Saloons racer. And in terms of the Class C battle, I think Houchin has kept the lead from Rowling. I think he's defended it for the moment. Of course, there's one more lap to go, so if Houchin can hold on, he'll be looking to try and pick up what will be, for him, win number... I'll come back to that in a second. Hold the line, caller.
Yeah, well, whilst you do that, I'll just touch on that Josh Harvey move, because that is important, as you said. That's for 3rd place outright. The checkered flag looks like... On TSL, the checkered flag's come out, but I don't think it has. I don't...
Well, the time has stopped, and it's also said that 16 seconds to go, so there's no checkered flag being waved.
No.
So we'll carry on. There might be a glitch in the timing screen.
I think we're still racing here, yes. I do not think the checkered flag has actually fallen. So,
and Wilson hasn't slowed down either, so he's carried on to make sure.
And now suddenly, yes, it's gone back to green on the TSL, so a little bit of a computer glitch, but we are still racing. Final lap now for Will Self to keep it on the track and take the win.
Yeah, and ailing Kevin Talbot there, now being lapped by his Class A competitors. Also you saw that a while ago in the pit lane, Sammy Linster coming in with front end damage, shaking his head after what happened. We didn't see exactly what happened. We'll have to find out in between races.
Well, from this race, we've lost Collins, Greenhill, Krasimeno, Linsner, Morgan. So whatever happens here, Kevin Talbot would have at least made up 5 or 6 places.
He would have done. But coming up through the bomb hole, up towards Coram for the final time. He was crowned the champion in qualifying earlier on with pole position, and now he can do it in a little more style than just setting the fastest lap of the race. He'll come through the long right-hander of Coram, give him a wave and a cheer through here, with style in towards Murray's for the final time, lifts the inside wheel and sprints up to the line. This will be for him his 7th win of the season, and once again will firmly confirm the Class A title provisionally. Up to the checkered flag, victory in round 15 of Racing Hondas 2025 goes to the Class A champion Will Self. A fantastic drive for the EG Civic. 2nd place goes to Bob Barron, another brilliant podium, and 3rd on his debut in the championship with the ex-Rick O'Connell car. It means that Josh Harvey ensures an EG Civic 1, 2, 3 lockout on the podium. Phil Wright is a magnanimous runner-up in Class A in the championship. He'll take up P4. Sprint to the line for 5th position and will be Dave Buki. And in Class C, it does go to Callum Houchin, so he held off the champion Matt Rowling in the end. All I'm going to say is, good luck interviewing him, Charlie. Trying to get words out of him. That's going to be a task. But
just nod your head. That'll make good.
Yes.
That'll make good TV, won't it?
Smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave. And so across the line goes James Orford in P6, Fraser McNeil in P7, and the new Class B and overall champion provisionally, Dan Thackeray, will come across the line and pick up victory number 12 of the season. 12 of the season. Thank you. 2nd goes to Ryan Cunningham. That's firmly securing 2nd place in the Class B standings for him. And 3rd place goes to Lewis Barker. He'll be delighted with that. An excellent podium to back up his results from Not Killed Before. It will go 4th to Sammy Milam and 5th on his debut in the championship to Danny Weston. He'll be absolutely thrilled with that, and so will Dave Buki and all of the Kinetic Motorsport squad. An excellent drive for him on his first appearance in the championship. And Kevin Talbot did finish the race, albeit in a lowly 16th, so a lap down. And in fact, the car has pulled up in roughly the same spot that Liam Collins did earlier on when he had those issues. Of course, that was a legacy of his smoky problems from qualifying earlier on this morning.
It'd be interesting to hear from Kevin Talbot, actually, wouldn't it? Because that first lap must be one of the best first laps he's ever done, and certainly one of the best we've seen in racing Hondas this season. But yeah, the cars are just starting to very slowly, some of them make their way down to Parc Fermé now. And Will Self, Scott, he was kind of in control once he got into Riches in P1, and actually it was Barron and Harvey going toe-to-toe, and it kind of enabled Self just to get a bit of a gap, and he never looked back.
Certainly did. And there's the results of round 15, the penultimate round of the Racing Hondas 2025. And it's victory once again for Will Self, his 7th overall victory of the season, and he takes it by 5.2 seconds from second place man Bob Barron, and ensuring an EG Civic 1, 2, 3 on the podium. Josh Harvey, on his debut in the championship, gets an excellent 3rd in the ex-Rico Collin car. Phil Wright, 4th position. Dave Buki will be impressed with the top 5. Then James Alford and Fraser McNeil. Dan Thackeray once again dominates Class B ahead of Ryan Cunningham in 2nd place, and Lewis Barker with an overjoyed 3rd. Then Sammy Milam, Danny Weston with an excellent top 5 in class for him in 12th position overall. Spencer Fortag was 13th and 6th in class, and Callum Houchin, minus a voice, finishes 14th and takes the Class C victory after a race-long battle, particularly in the closing stages with his main rival and Class C champion Matt Rowling. So that's the top 14 on screen. We'll scroll down to 15th in a moment, so when we catch up on the graphic. 15th goes to Matt Rowling. 16th, despite pulling up at the end just after the line, was Kevin Talbot, and the cars we lost in that race were Jordan Morgans in the yellow DC5 Integra, Sam Linstner, Luke Rasmusmenu and Harry Greenhill after they tangled up at Wilson Hairpin, and Liam Collins after his car pulled up with more smoky problems. Just a handful of laps in after issues in qualifying. So that's 15 races down. There is now one more race left to go, and what makes it even more exciting, we will have a partially reversed grid in all 3 categories, and typically the second race, Ian, is even more exciting than the first. It has been in the past. It was great at Knockhill. It was phenomenal at Alton Park and Brands Hatch. Is Snetterton going to live up to it, given there's practically nothing else to fight for other than just some bragging rights and getting more top step of the podium? I certainly hope so.